In the fight against insurgency in the country, the United States launched a major military strike against Islamic State militants in northwest Nigeria on Christmas night. Acting on President Donald Trump's orders, the U.S. Navy fired Tomahawk missiles from a warship, destroying 2 training camps in Sokoto State. The Pentagon says the operation was carried out at Nigeria's request to stem attacks on civilians. President Trump, in a social media post, warned that Washington would continue to pursue what he called terrorist scum if the violence persists. Now, the strikes mark a sharp escalation of America's involvement in Africa, targeting the Lukarawa militant group while aimed at neutralizing immediate threats. Now, the operation has sparked wider debate over the U.S. role in regional conflict and the protection of religious communities. Now, this intervention strengthens Nigeria's fight against insurgency, or does it risk deepening foreign entanglement and its security crisis? These, of course, are the issues we will be looking at this time. Joining me on the conversation is Captain Dr. Lukman Gidado, is a security expert. I also have Tony Ofoyetan, is the DG, International Institute of Professional Security, and also Temitope Olodo is the CEO and Managing Director of Trans Intelligence and Security Solutions. We'll go on a quick break. When we return, the conversation will start. Stay with us, we'll be right back. All right, joining this conversation now is Temitope Olodo, is the CEO and Managing Director of Trans Intelligence and Security Solutions. Thank you for your time. Let me start, of course, by asking you, the attack that Nigerians, of course, saw the U.S., sending its, what I call it, arsenal to Sokoto State, of course, working with the Nigerian government, has continued to generate reactions, questions as to America's role in this, and also why that part of the country, amongst the plethora of other issues. But from a security angle, I'd like you to speak on this, please.
First and foremost, I think it's important to differentiate between some of the phrases that have been used. The word joint operation is actually a security diplomacy word. It's more or less talking about shared intelligence, cooperation, getting consent. Now, that is completely different from public perception, because the public's opinion differs depending on where you're talking about. So when you look at Iraq, Pakistan, even if the government of the day gives consent for America to land on their soil and do whatever they need to do, the people will not be happy with it because of the history, the issue of sovereignty and trust with regard to issues to do with operational issues. Now, America had the operational superiority because they are the one actually executing the activities. Just like when they have joint operation, either with a NATO country or with the United Kingdom, okay, because they're using their ships, they are doing that, they are the one that have operational. But what we're talking about here is a situation where they are just requesting for consent from Nigeria to enter into our airspace to do what they need to do. And just like the Minister of Foreign Affairs rightly said, they had the conversation 16 minutes before, not 1 week before, not 3 weeks before, because of the issue of compromise. We know what happened during the Chippewa girls when, Nigeria was given advance information about, where, these terrorists were and the fact that they wanted to go there and gas them. But the next thing the Americans will see was that those terrorists were wearing gas masks. So,
all right, Mr. Olodo, I might just, need to leave you for a moment because we're also trying to manage time and ensure that all the other guests also have, their time to speak. Let me bring in Captain Dr. Lukman Gidado into the conversation. Captain, it's great to have you. My question to you is, looking at what we witnessed yesterday, Some have said, you know what, it's a step in the right direction, while others are bringing up questions around the diplomatic implication or the, what I call it, domino effect of this so-called joint security arrangement. Did you get my question, Captain?
Yes, your question is clear. Can you hear me?
So I'd like to take your reaction quickly.
Okay, thank you very much. For me, I am very, very indifferent about any negative opinion regarding this airstrike. It is one of the efforts coming from the security framework between United States and Nigeria. And I will say that going forward, more of these airstrikes are needed in areas whereby terrorists, insurgents, and other criminal elements are operating. So, and I will equally say that for Sokoto State, I would say that since it was intelligence-driven airstrike precision, there might have been a potential security threat. As we all know, security dynamics are not issues that will be disclosed or made open to all and sundry. So there might have been potential security threat that the larger population are unaware of, and that's what prompted the intelligence-driven airstrike in Sokoto State. So for me, I equally want to state that any group of persons or individual that are inimical to the corporate existence of Nigeria as a nation should not be pampered, they should not be allowed, they should not be romanced, they should be taken off and neutralized.
All right.
And I will equally say that similar airstrikes are needed in the northeastern region of the country, and as well the Lake Chad region, where the Boko Haram and ISWAP are terrorizing innocent Nigeria from carrying out their normal activities without hitches.
All right,
so for me, it's a good step in the right direction, and we hope to see more in areas whereby these criminal elements are operating.
All right, thank you, Captain Gidado. I'm coming to you, Dr. Ofoyetan. Dr. Ofoyetan is the Director General, International Institute of Professional Security. Doctor, now, I would also like your opinion on this airstrike, but also concerns raised that the implication of this might maybe further provoke, what I call it, the assailants, the terrorists, or the bandits to further carry out attacks, sporadic attacks across parts of the country, you know, in the coming weeks. Do you think this will be the case?
Thank you for having me, and I'm most likely not going to derail from the position of other panelists, as it were. I think the issue of whether it's going to escalate the attack subsequently a product of two things: the consistency of the attack as it is now, and of course the government attitude after the attack has abated. If the government is able to identify participants, criminals, sympathizers to terrorist activities, sleeper cell, and government is able to do the groundwork properly, then of course, rather than having any negative effect, what we just have is a proper sweeping off of terrorism from Nigeria. And I think if government is also able to quieten those that have, unusual platform to make a noise about the activities of government and the U.S. vis-a-vis this attack on terrorists. I don't think this is the right time for any individual or group of people to come out and begin to say that there's going to be a boomeranging effect, except those people are participants, criminals. Now, if you are not participants, criminals, you don't need to talk on behalf of the terrorists. If government has been able to, agree with the United States to say, okay, let's do the airstrike, then the military has its own responsibility to do the groundwork. They are not coming to do the groundwork for you from all the dominion that we have on ground now. So what do? If you go to sleep, then there will be crisis. But if you are able to clear the groundwork, knowing full well that you've had this air advantage, I think there will not be any boomeranging effect. Rather, what you have is positive result. If they are able to also identify all the politicians, all the sympathizers, all those people that are strategically at advantage when terrorism is thriving in Nigeria, you are able to identify them from your home front, and you are able to deal with them internally, not waiting for an America to begin to deal with them, leaving America to what extent they are ready to help and assist you, especially with respect to the air power. I think that it will go a long way, a long way. But like I said, yes.
I want you to land on your thought before I button.
Okay. Now, you see, but like I said, if the government is going to bring in other variables and other considerations that have been the source of the sustenance of terrorism in Nigeria, the variables of ethnicity, the variable of religious bigotry, the variable of political divides, if they are going to bring it to play when it comes to grand operation, then of course you are going to be, corroborating the fears of those that say that to have a boomeranging effect. Because what is happening now, I can assure you, is that those that are sympathetic to the cause of terrorism in Nigeria, they will be pulling their own string. They will be trying to put pressure on the government to be able to do what asks America to downplay its activities as it is now. But if the government is able to stand on its ground and also attend to the groundwork properly, there won't be any boomeranging effect.
All right, Mr. Olodo, do you also think this will be the case?
I agree with my panelists. This is exactly what is needed. We should remember that 3 things have been achieved by this. Number one, America is sharing intelligence with Nigeria, which is what we wanted, which was not really that strong before. Number two, there is the issue of America using technology that we don't have, things like long missiles, satellite intelligence. Number three is that there is now the fear, psychological fear, that the terrorists know that they are being watched real time. Now, just like Dr. Tony said, what is now needed is for Nigeria to do its homework, basic homework. Don't allow the space, the oxygen for this to spread. If there are people out there, regardless of their class, regardless of their religion, that want to expand this and create a very hostile environment, the Nigerian government, the DSS, the police should be picking them up now so that they will know that nobody is spared. Once you do that, America will see we're serious, and then you could see even some of these terrorists will leave our territory, because we know that most of them are not from our territory. They will leave. But if we don't do that and we allow sympathizers to encourage them, conflict entrepreneurs to continue to benefit from this, then we're in trouble.
All right, thank you very much. Before we go on the break, I'm coming back to you, Captain. Captain, what do you think moves like this would have on the morale of our soldiers who have been at the front line, over the years fighting these persons?
Okay, for me, this airstrike on the terrorist enclave in Sokoto State is a morale booster to our troops, and I will encourage that we can capitalize on this, because the airstrike had some tactical advantages as against the terrorists. First and foremost, it's going to disrupt their leadership, it will disrupt their logistic hub, and it will also serve as a catalyst at which the Nigerian troops and other security agencies can now launch a more coordinated and robust attack at all the terrorist enclave within the general area. So for me, I would say that it is indeed a morale booster, and the morale of all the troops, as well as the police and other security agencies involved in the fight against terrorists and other criminal elements in that general area will be indeed very, very high at this crucial time.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much. We'll go on a quick break. When we return, we'll be taking our final thoughts on this. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thank you for staying with us. It's still Politics HQ on News Central Television. And of course, I still have my guest with me. We are looking at the American airstrike that happened in conjunction, that is, with Nigerian government, that happened in Sokoto yesterday here in Nigeria. Now, before we go, 30 seconds, gentlemen, I'll be starting with you, Dr. Ofonyetan. With what we have seen right now, and of course, there seems to be will I call it, trickles to show that this will not just be a one-off strike. In maybe weeks to come, we'll also see more advances. I mean, maybe in the shortest possible time, what do you predict? How do you think this would impact in the long run our security architecture as a country?
Yes, I'm with you and I can hear you. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. 30 seconds.
Okay. So I said that it's okay. Within the next few weeks, I expect that one, the terrorists would have relocated severally from different locations. I expect that they would have further splitted themselves. I expect there should be higher level of pressure on the government against the American strike. But I expect that there will be more strikes. I expect there will be more strikes, especially in the Middle Belt and, of course, in the Southeast, in the Central North, and, of course, in the Northeastern part of the country, basically. So I expect that the military will be able to put up a better strategy, especially as a backup to what is ongoing. But I also expect a lot of propaganda for and against the operation at internal levels. So the government should actually brace up for such very high level of propaganda against what is going on. Most probably that to put the government in bad light or to make it seem as if the government is not doing what it ought to do. So they should be able to brace up for some of all these most probables.
All right. How about you in 30 seconds also, Mr. Oludo?
So I agree. I think there's going to be that intensity. There's going to be a lot of talk and chatter. My hope is that the terrorists will have learned their lesson, just like Donald Trump said, that if they do not shield their sword, they'll be coming after them. So I'm looking possibly at somewhere like, the plain of Plateau, Niger State, because it's quite big, a large place, and there's a lot of them there. It's a big state. So those are areas I'm looking at, that there might be a next phase of attack, definitely.
All right, quickly too, Captain, in the coming weeks, what do you see happening?
Thank you very much. I expect concurrent strategic coordinated military activities at all levels. And also, I would like to quickly also use this medium to correct one misrepresentation of fact. In the message sent by President Donald Trump, that as the element that has the aspect of Christian genocide, I would like to state categorically that as a matter of fact, that's a clear misrepresentation of facts. The narrative is very false. There's no Christian genocide in Nigeria. For somebody like me who have had combat experience all my life, I've never experienced a situation whereby terrorists will invade a community or a locality. They will not separate Muslim and Christian, and they will not kill Christian. They kill everybody regardless of their tribe or their religion. So I would like to quickly correct that. So going forward, the airstrike on other coordinated military activities can actually bring a short-term effect on these terrorist activities and extremist ideology. The long-term solution are premised on the development as well as governance. The root causes of all these extremist ideology, insurgency, and criminal activities should be tackled. Areas of poverty, what are the
Thank you so much, Captain. This, of course, is the bit time can permit us. But it's been a pleasure having you gentlemen speak on this. Captain Dr. Lukman Gidado, retired, is a security expert, and also Dr. Tony Ofoyeta, the Director General, International Institute of Professional Security, Temitope Oludo, CEO and Managing Director, Trans Intelligence and Security Solutions. Gentlemen, thank you for your time.